皆さん、お稽古お疲れ様です。And welcome back to Beyond the Dojo. I am so sorry to not have been able to post any new episodes recently. I have been thinking about a lot of things recently about what I should do to promote the Kyoto Dojo. And one of the things I'm actually thinking about right now is actually changing this channel again to something completely different. So I was thinking, I mean, there are a lot of things I do want to talk with you guys, but also at the same time, there's so many things I want to show you guys more, about the new things I'm thinking about, maybe the actual techniques of Asayama Ichiden-ryu. And, I've been posting a lot of the clips from my online lessons and the shorts, and I'm really, really happy that a lot of people are enjoying those too. But because I'm posting those, the main videos, I would like to really be able to post something that's a bit similar to what I do there, like, not just posting these podcasts, but also I'm showing you my progress in the teachings that I do right now, or any new projects I'm working on, or and so on and so forth. So I really am thinking about what I should do from now on to really achieve the goal of 100 students, members in the Kyoto Dojo. I think I announced that around the end of March, we were able to achieve 70 members, including the online and also the in-person trainings. But this month we have hardly had almost any new members, maybe just a few, maybe 2 or 3. I'll have to count. It's still, mid-April, so we still have about 2 weeks. But I don't believe we'll be able to have that many new members this month. And it's going to be, there's something I really have to do much more. I have to try different things, experiment other things to be able to, go over this hurdle that I'm facing right now. And one of those things I'm thinking about starting a new YouTube channel. Maybe changing this one into something completely new, because all the shorts that I've been posting, of the clips of the online lessons. I mean, those are really, I personally really like those. So I like to keep those that way, and then maybe I will still keep the videos I posted before, all the podcasts, but kind of renew it completely and make it something new. And with that said, there's actually a lot of things that I've decided after the last episode to talk to you guys about, that I'm not going to be getting that new dojo I was originally talking about, and going to be planning some other things. But I think I have made my plan pretty clear. Actually, afterwards, I did a lot of brainstorming, writing things down on paper, trying to clear my mind, and put things back together and everything. And so to start from the very beginning, this year, Asayama Ichiden-ryu Hyoho's 22nd headmaster Seki Sensei gave me permission to start the Kyoto Dojo and also the online lessons this year. So we started that, and if we're going to be doing it, I always want to have a goal. I don't want to be just doing it, but I always want to have something that I can work very hard toward, and that was the 100 members within 1 year, both the online lessons and in-person training members put together. And that was going really well. And I was originally saying that once we achieve 100 members, the next step will be to get a dojo in Kyoto. But like I said in that last episode, when I actually went to see some places that could have been our dojo, some really big places that were wonderful, high ceilings, big space, really good access, everything was perfect. But of course, such places in Kyoto City are going to be very expensive. When I did all the math, calculating everything, I found out that if I'm going to be renting that place, I will have to constantly be working all the time, and I won't have any time to do anything else. And when I actually saw those numbers and the amount of time I'll have to put into just keeping the place, I realized that, like I told you guys before in a different episode, what's important in each time of your life. In your 10s, friends are important. In your 20s, your stamina, your energy is important. In your 30s, your techniques, your skills important. 40s, your relationships with other people, connections you have are really important. 50s, your health is important. 60s, your cuteness is important. I explained this to you guys before. The 30s is about techniques and skills. So in your 20s, you use all of your energy and stamina to try to find what you are alive for, what you want to live for. Find what you can burn your spirit for, if we say in Japanese, And in your 30s, now that you know which way you're going to be heading, you dedicate everything that you have toward that. So in my 20s, I was able to find out who I am, basically. So I love Japanese traditional culture. I love people. I love teaching. I love, explaining things, so on and so forth. I love making content. Yeah, so on and so forth, all these other stuff. And of course, I did try a lot of other things, and I found out that I didn't like certain things too. Like I don't like this. I'm not really good at this. I shouldn't be using so much of my time on this, and so on and so forth. So I quit so many things that I did put a lot of time into. Like you guys might remember, I used to play the shakuhachi under Kaminaga Daisuke Sensei, which is the shakuhachi flute player of Hana Fugetsu and Wagaki Band. I used to learn the shakuhachi flute for about 5-6 years, but I quit that completely, feeling that that's not something that I could use a lot of my time and effort into, considering a lot of things. And I end up thinking that, okay, Asayama Ichiden-ryu Budo, that's number 1. Number 2 would absolutely be tea ceremony. Number 3 would be no theater. This isn't by rank, by the way. They're all equally important. But I thought, okay, I'm going to be dedicating my life to these 3 things. And my goal is to try to spread these Japanese traditional culture to the world, and so that more people can enjoy the beauty of these arts. And like I said before, I'm not saying that Japanese traditional culture is the best in the world or anything. I absolutely do not think that way. I grew up in the US. I studied abroad in China. I visited Europe. I visited so many places around the world. I have friends all over the world. And I am absolutely certain that Japanese traditional culture is not the best in the world. But with that said, I am the right person, though, to preserve and also spread Japanese culture to the world because of all the things that I can do and all my background and my passion and everything, So considering that, again, back to the story of my 30s. My 30s is supposed to be a time where I brush up my skills and techniques so I can achieve my goal that I just set right now, right? So using all my time on the things that I can already do to just earn the money that I need to keep the place going is kind of counterproductive if it goes against what I've been explaining to you, right? So I thought I definitely should be using a lot more time on my training, first of all. Again, as you guys remember, I need to always remember myself too, that I'm only 4th dan brown belt in the online dan ranks in Asayama Ichiden-ryu, and also in the in-person trainings, I'm still 2nd dan, and I'm finally taking the 3rd dan exam this June, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be passing, right? I might fail, and I'm very far away from being any, black belt anything in the Honbu ranking at all. Seki Sensei has to approve me as a Okuden or Shihanda or something higher than that in order for me to wear a black belt. So I'm just a white belt, just like all the other members. Of course, I am quite senpai among all the other members in the Honbu Dojo Asayama Ichiden-ryu too, because I did sign up rather in the beginning, but that doesn't make me better than anyone else, right? So I'm like, I am not in the right timing to hold such a huge dojo and use so much of my time and money into it. And I also mentioned a little bit about my family too, right? My kids are 7, 5, 3 years old, and they'll never be this young ever, and they'll never need their parents as much as they need us now, if that makes sense. I mean, sure, many of you have kids as well. We say that once your kids are older than 10 years old, until they're 10, the whole world is their parents. Their parents is the whole world. So they trust them, you rely on them, you learn from them, and the relationships you developed until you become 10 years old with their parents is really, really important. So I was like, I really want to do that too. When I was in my 20s, I was so caught up in the idea that I have to just use so much time. I need to earn more money, and you got to do this, I got to do that, and everything. But once I finally came into my 30s and I now know who I am, how much I can do, how much I want to do, I was like, I really want to spend more time with my family. So I made a few posts and talked to a couple of you about that. But I actually decided to go on family vacations 2 times a year. And actually, we will be going back to Fukuoka too, my wife's home city, 2 times. So that's like 4 times a year, basically, kind of like family trips, And just last week, a week and a half actually, ago, we actually went on our first family trip to the southern area of Kyoto. There was a glamping site. So we stayed in a camp. We did barbecue, for our first time. Our kids, it was the first barbecue, first glamping, of course, And it was a lot of fun. It was amazing. The kids, it was actually really hard because on the last day, especially my second child, Nagi, was like, I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. And she was crying the whole time we were on the train and the bus and everything to get back home and everything. So, but it means that she liked it, and very, very happy that we were able to spend some quality time together as family. And I want to do that too. And all the training, as I told you guys before, of course, now, I do rent a smaller studio for the online lessons on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. And on Sundays and Mondays, I actually rent the studio a little bit extra, about an hour and a half extra time after the online lessons are over for my own training. I always do suburi for the short shunjo, for the long shunjo, and also for the tamagsari, which is just chain ball, the staff, and also the chain ball suburi exercises I do. And I also practice the katas we practice in the higher downrank class that week. Higher downrank class is the online lessons held by Seki Sensei, the headmaster, for the students who are higher than third dan. So those katas are really, really difficult. So I take those extra hours, 30 minutes, an hour to train that. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we rent the dance studio Cell, which is a really, really big dance studio that we use for the in-person training. On Tuesdays, I actually rent the place an extra hour. So we do 3 hours of training, and I stay there. Everyone else leaves, but I stay another hour after that to do my no theater training. Yeah, so I actually have added a lot of time into doing more training. So this is all after I decide I'm not going to be renting the dojo. So this is the story is already going into the changes I've made after that. So family vacations, that's one thing I decided to do. More training. Yeah, so I was like, I thought of all the benefits of having my own dojo. And I was like, I thought, and I was like, okay, I can do my online lessons at a bigger place. Okay, well, I can do more training anytime. Well, okay, I can just rent an extra hour and I can do more training if I wanted to. That's not difficult at all, right? And it's a lot cheaper, and there's no risks at all. So I was like, when I lined up all the benefits of having my own dojo, I was like, I can probably do most of these things already. So that's the reason why I just decided to add a few hours to the renting studios. So I'm going to be doing a lot more training. And I sign up to every single training that I can go to for my tea ceremony sensei. My tea ceremony sensei has more than 30 students. Every month she's like, okay, so on this day, this time to this time, on this day, this time. So she sends out this calendar kind of thing saying that please choose the days you want to come and train. And mainly, most of the basic amount of training every student would do would be 3 times. 3 times per month. And so one time you choose one day at one time and you do the procedures of the tea ceremony once. Yeah. What I do is go 10 times. Okay. So every time I go, I do the training 2 or 3 times. So I double or triple the amount of training whenever I go. So I stay the tea ceremony, a tea room of my sensei. Longest I've been, I stay for like 5 hours. Yeah, so like using my whole day just for tea ceremony training. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And for my no theater training too, I only have 2 trainings a month. So what I asked my sensei to do is I doubled my training. All the other students, it's one-on-one training, no theater, by the way. But it was only an hour, so 2 hours of training per month. I was like, please double it. Yes, I will of course pay for double the price. I will do double trainings. I now do 4 hours of training for no theater too. Yeah. So this is all decided after I decided not to have the dojo. So I was really able to make myself clear about what I need to focus on, what I want to do, and making these decisions, I felt really, really happy that this is what I should be doing right now. And it feels so right, So yeah, so I read books now. I used to not read books at all because I started to get really busy. That's just, just me saying excuses. But I read at least 5 minutes in the morning and also in the evening. So I'm learning more stuff. I'm really into incense right now. So we call that kodo in Japanese, incense, the path of incense. It's really interesting, isn't it? So I've been studying and reading a lot of books about incense on my free time, morning. Well, not free time, but I force myself to read it actually, in the morning and the evening. And so my life has been changing drastically in the last couple of weeks, and it's been going great. I feel so good, and I feel, of course, I still need a lot of training anyways. So yeah, doing this much training is just amazing. I love it. I seriously love it. Now, with that said, guys, from here, what are we going to be doing, right? Yeah, so I decided that my life schedule and everything is going to be like this, and we're going to move through like this through my 30s. Now, but I do have a goal still, though. And of course, having 100 members is one thing. Yeah, but there's 2 goals now for me. Okay, once I finish talking about the goals, this is the end for this podcast, by the way. But 100 members total of in-person online lesson members. That's one thing. I have another goal now to achieving 20 in-person training members. Right now we have 9, right? So we need 11 more. 11 is a huge number. 11 more members in the in-person training, so we can at least have 6 or 7 members constantly coming to the training. I would love to. Sometimes we only have 2 or sometimes even 1 member coming to the training. That's really, really lonely, because we need multiple people to be training in kenjutsu and partner practice, right? So I really want more people to come. So 20 members is the goal right now. So actually right after this, I'm going to be heading over to some of the Budo equipment shops and I'm going to be going to say my greetings, saying that, hi, I started my own dojo from this year. It'd be great if we can get to know each other kind of thing and go to every Budo equipment shop. I think I'll be visiting 6 today, which is just simply amazing. I just want to go and see more people, taking part in events, wearing my dogi and jinbaori so people can recognize or know me, recognize me maybe in the future. Yeah, so that's going to be the plan. I'm going to be doing everything I can. But again, 100 members, once we achieve 100 members total for the in-person online lesson members, I'm going to be renting a dojo. What? Right? Wait, Shogo, you said you're not going to be renting a dojo. You are going to be renting a dojo? Yeah. So the thing is, what's going to happen is, the dojo is not mainly for Asayama Ichiden-ryu. It's going to be mainly for Negishiryu Shurikenjutsu. You guys remember I trained in the Shuriken training as well? I hold the online lessons with Kurosawa Sensei, who is also a Shihandai in Asayama Ichiden-ryu, a assistant instructor. Yeah. And he's also a branch leader in Negishiryu Shurikenjutsu. And this year, I will be taking another exam in Negishiryu, and maybe I might be allowed to do club activities in Negishiryu Shurikenjutsu. Then I might be able to have my small group in Kyoto and so on and so forth. We'll have to see. Maybe it might be next year. But anyways, after we achieve 100 members, and also the headmaster of Negishiryu Shurikenjutsu giving me permission to start my own dojo or my club or something like that, my own community in Kyoto, I want to rent a dojo for Shurikenjutsu training. So it could be about 1/4 of the size of what I was originally looking for. So the fees, monthly fees, the rent will be much, much cheaper. It could be around 100,000 yen. Then it won't be expensive at all, right? Yeah. And what I can do there is I can also hold my online lesson training. So I don't have to rent the studio every time to do my online lesson trainings. I don't need to rent somewhere to do my own training, my self-training, And I'll also be able to do video filming too. Because again, like I told you, I want to renovate this channel we're doing right now into something different. And I want to actually ask you guys' opinion about one thing, but I'll let you know in the next episode. And yeah, it's probably going to be like a rectangle shaped room. Just simply like a rectangle shaped room is totally fine. One side of the wall going to have all the targets as time mats, and the other side going to have some decorations, which would be great for the background of the online lessons and also the video filming and such. So that's my plan. So it's going to be an amazing small place that we can have for those 3 things: Shuriken training, online lessons, video filming, my self training. 4 things actually. Yeah. So that's the plan. That's the new plan. And that was like for me, that was like, okay, this is perfect. If it's like, again, if we have to rent a place for the in-person training, it's going to be like 6 or 7 times more expensive. Yeah. But we can shrink that down to 1/5, 1/6 the price and still be able to have a nice place for all the other stuff that we can do, So for a very long time, we'll probably continue using the rental studio for the in-person training. But that's the plan for the dojo. Next, I mentioned a little bit about the 20 members in the in-person training, right? The goal for that now is once I achieve 20 members in the Kyoto in-person training, I'm going to be I already actually talked about this already a little bit to Seki Sensei, but I'm hoping to start 2 new branches in Japan. One is in Nagoya, and one is also in Fukuoka. Yes, this is going to be great. So Nagoya, if I take the bullet train, it only takes about 35 minutes or so. It's going to be very expensive though, of course. But I really want to, because Asayama Ichiden-ryu has not opened up too much to the west side of Japan, the southern side of Japan. So there's no branches, there's no one teaching it there. So there are many students who come all the way over to the Hombu Dojo to train maybe once every couple of months. Yeah, but there's no access to any training for them, So once I can bring the Kyoto Dojo up to about 20 people, right now we do the in-person training on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So on Wednesdays, I want to go to Nagoya and do the training in Nagoya. And also Fukuoka is very far away. Nagoya is just 30 minutes, right? Like I said. Fukuoka takes about 3 hours by Shinkansen. It's very expensive. But I have my in-laws house there. So I'll probably won't have to rent a hotel or anything every time. I don't have to stay at a hotel or anything. I'll be able to stay at their house. So I think it'll be a once a month kind of thing, monthly thing, maybe on Saturdays and Sundays. So a weekend per month. So on Saturdays during the day, Sundays during the day, and I'll come back to Kyoto before the online lessons that night with Seki Sensei, kind of thing. That's going to be the plan. Okay, so 3 new goals. The smaller dojo mainly for the Shurikenjutsu training that can be used for 4 other things, and the Nagoya and also Fukuoka branch in the future once the Kyoto Dojo achieves 20 members. 20 members is a huge amount of people, so. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be quitting the Kyoto Dojo at all. I'm going to be continuing the Kyoto Dojo while I add new branches so that I can help Asayama Ichiden-ryu grow. Okay, and I'm sorry, I gotta head over to those Budo equipment shops I talked about, so I won't be able to explain everything here in today's episode. But like I explained to you guys before, there is a reason why I want to work so hard towards, the new branches in Japan and all that kind of stuff. There's a reason why I want to do that, and also a little bit off the Budo topic, but there's something really exciting that I want to announce to you guys that's a bit more related to no theater. So I'll talk about these two things in a different episode. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time. Everything feels so right. I'm on the right path. I really feel right now. I'm so excited, so energetic right now, and yeah, I'm just really, really excited and happy that I know what I need to be focused on, and my goals are very clear to me right now, and they make sense. Yeah, so it'd be great if you can continue supporting me, guys. And in the next episode too, hopefully I'll be able to ask you guys the question. The question, by the way, would be what the title of the new YouTube channel should be. I want the YouTube channel, you know what, I'll just talk about it right now. The new YouTube channel is going to focus on my journey towards all the things I've been talking about, my new dojo, the branches in Fukuoka, and the road for me to become an amazing budoka just like Seki Sensei kind of thing. So I wanted to give it a name like Budo Freak or Budo Addict or something like that, The Japanese word, it would be Budo Baka. If you've heard of Baka before, it means stupid, but it also means someone who is like obsessed with something. Yeah, that person is something Baka means that person is obsessed with something. And it's not a bad meaning. It means they're crazy about it. And I'm crazy about Budo, and I'm crazy about the goal that we want to achieve in Asayama Ichiden-ryu. So I wanted your opinion. If you're listening to this to the very end, that means you can answer my question in the comments, right? So I want your opinions. Would you think we should just go with Budo Baka in Japanese? Or do you think we should go with Budo Freak or Budo Addict or something else? When I want to translate the name into Japanese, Budo Baka would be fine. It's not bad, but freak, in Japanese we say in katakana furiku, in Japanese too. And furiku sounds really cool in Japanese actually. But I'm not too sure of the nuances when you say it in English. It's like, well, that's not a really good meaning. There's no positive meanings to it, so you should probably end that. Or addict too. Addict usually use it for negative things too, right? So should I not use those? Or no, that could be a good meaning too. Or if you can let me know your opinions from your understanding of these words would be great. I'm sure we're all from different places, so the understanding of these English words would probably be different. So it'd be great if you could let me know. And I really want to change this new Budo, whatever it's going to be, into a brand basically in the future for everyone who is dedicating their lives to Budo, kind of thing. So it'd be great if you can let me know. I think this is going to be a start of something really amazing. So, okay, guys, thank you so much. Then I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.